Hey, Colby and Kau'i here from KCMG Real Estate Advisors in Downingtown Life, and today we are with Cait at the Harrison Studios Dance and Gymnastics.
Hi there. Hello, you two.
Hello, thank you
Thanks
for
for
taking
having
the
us.
time today.
Thank you.
So where are we? We're at the studio.
We're at our Downingtown location,
Okay.
and this is the Alert One Fire Company. We're on the second floor, entrance and parking around back. You can't access it from the front.
Right.
But we have been in this building since 1951.
Wow.
Um,
It sounds like there's a history behind this dance studio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So if you pull in here, the prime parking spot has a little sign that says reserved for L. Harrison. That is Louise B. Harrison, my grandmother and our founder. So she is the woman behind all of this. So we're a third generation family. I'm the third generation. My grandmother was in Hawaii with my grandfather. He had been in the service, and they stayed there for 10 years. She taught dance lessons there. She she started the first program for dancing at the YWCA in Honolulu.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't
she
know
was
that.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, but my mother was born there, and when she was about 6 months old, they came back here because my grandfather's parents were sick, and they stayed. And so my grandmother started teaching in Glenmore at the fire company there, teaching dance lessons there. And then in 1951, she teamed up with the Pancott family and began doing gymnastics lessons here. So this was only gymnastics for a while, and then in 1959 she started the dance lessons here. She's 66. My mother and her sister Debbie needed a place to stay for college. They were going to Westchester University, and they were dancing. And my grandmother bought the house that's on High Street, converted it into a dance studio. They lived there.
And that's where your
ran
second dance
classes.
studio is, yes?
Yes. So Westchester is what I consider our main location, but that's really just because that's the people who go full time. But that has been around since '66. And that's where I grew up. That was the house I grew up in. I lived above the dance studio, walked down to class. You know, there's no excuse to be late. My mom and my aunt still live there, and we've been having classes ever since here. So, yeah.
Go way back.
Way back.
Really neat. So dance and gymnastics. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about the programs and the ages of the classes and things like that.
Yeah, so gymnastics, we have 1 day a week. We keep it a recreational program. There's plenty of places nearby to go competitively, but we like to keep our gymnastics program recreational. They still get to do the beams, the bars, the vault, tumbling, all of the fun things, learning the skills in a really positive and enthusiastic environment. Our coaches are some of the best people you'll ever meet.
So it sounds like they can handle all different kinds of levels. So
All
if you're
kinds of different
a beginner
levels.
or pretty advanced or intermediate, then
Exactly.
this is the place.
Yes, so they are very strict with starting at 4 years old. We don't do any
Okay.
like tiny tot gymnastics. Even her own daughter, our head coach Beth, she has a daughter, Callie, who is turning 4 in November. And I was like, Beth, okay, you can have her come. She said, nope, I've never broken the rule before. I'm not going to do it for her. So after
Good.
her 4th birthday, she will be at gymnastics.
That's awesome.
And then it goes all the way up. Usually people stay until they graduate. And then we have people come back if they want to. And a lot of our gym coaches they'll come back on break. They'll come just take classes. We have some student coaches that work with the younger ones. But we always have 3 main coaches. So it's not students running it.
So what about all this gymnastics? I see a lot of gymnastics, mats and horses. Yeah.
So on Mondays, this place looks
Mondays.
completely different. Yes, it's always Mondays. It's Mondays in the summer. It's Mondays throughout the school year. It's like Mondays at the fire hall or gymnastics days.
Awesome.
So again, it looks like a completely different place. They put out the foam flooring, and then they roll out the carpet, the blue carpet, not the red carpet. They roll out the blue carpet. We have the beams over here. We have short beams, high beams. Uneven bars, we have the vault over here, and then the tumbling area as well. Many days there's all of it going on. Mm-hmm. Some times of year they'll focus on one skill at a time. Mm-hmm. And again, with those levels, it doesn't mean that the day you turn 7, you move into the next class. We want to see safety first, that you can master those skills, execute them safely, and show that you're going to listen really well for that next level. So,
Gotcha. And so what about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
we have dance, all kinds of dance. So we start at age 3 for like official classes. This year we did start a dance and duos program in Westchester just to try it out, doing mini series of that. Haven't added it to Downingtown yet, but we want to. But yeah, so 3 years old and up.
Okay.
You'll find all of our children's classes are a combination of tap and ballet. Those genres really reciprocate one another, and they help. So, utilize that skill twice in a class instead of just one. You can go all the way up until you're a teenager. You can come back to us. Just this past year, we had a girl who was in college. She had a little health issue and came home for a little while and was feeling a little lost. She did a full-time year here, danced again at age 20, and appreciated it more than ever.
Sure.
And so that was really nice,
special.
and the family was happy that she felt like she had a home to go to and a place that she was really welcome when things weren't going so great. But yeah, we think that ballet, tap, and jazz are the foundations of everything. If you can do that, you can do contemporary. If you can do that, you can do lyrical. And I believe that those things come later. If we're focusing on just those at like 3-year-old lyrical, that's great, but you're not really learning a lot of those foundations. But some people want just that, and that's perfectly fine. Our company here dances 2 days a week, so you can be a part of our larger company and only commit for 2 days a week. And so we have girls who are 17, we have girls who are 9 or 10. It's a matter of when those skills have come up for you and when you've decided, hey, I really love this, I want to do this. And then in Westchester, it's a little different story. Those girls are like 5 and 6 days a week.
Okay, so how do the programs work? Is it just like you kind of sign up for a season, sign up for a month or a pack of classes or groups, sessions? How does that work?
That's a great question. So we are a school year. The curriculum is cumulative, so of course you're going to get the most out of it the longer you're with us in a school year. You're only financially responsible for 6 weeks at a time. So typically in a year there are about six-week sessions or series. The 6th one, depending on how the holidays went, how the weather went, sometimes that'll include less or more weeks, and it just kind of finishes out the school year. The majority of our students come September to June. So, we do like to have some classes be small, and it depends on the chemistry. If we see, okay, these girls really are not self-starters, they need a little bit more guidance, then we'll say, you know what, this class needs to be capped at this number. So it's not one magic number for us. We're not trying to pack them in because that doesn't do anybody any good at all. But we are trying to listen to the parents' schedules as much as we can and accommodate. We always have a weekday class and a weekend class at those studios. And then there's opportunities for them to add on, that kind of thing. But we accept people as long as there is room in a class, and then we'll suggest that they start another class just to see if they like it.
Right, makes sense.
And a lot of times they end up liking that.
I think that's really important to kind of encourage people to try new things.
Absolutely. Here you have the option of moving over to Westchester, where you're going to have a little bit, a lot more of a commitment. But we do have some dancers here who are in our company who want to do a little bit more, and they come over for 1 or 2 days a week, and they participate in the Nutcracker. So our Nutcracker is extra, and that is optional for everybody, but everybody from Downingtown, and we have 1 day a week in Parksburg. So everybody from all the studios are invited to participate in that. It's a different day of rehearsals, it's a different tuition, but that is such a lovely tradition.
So I see you have lots of costumes over here. Are those for the actual class, or are those for presentations, recitals, performances?
So they are costumes of the past, not ones to be like archived or given away or anything, but those are costumes. So our Downingtown studio has a recital in December and in June. They get a new costume for each class. they'll just get one costume and they wear it in their December show and in their June show. So we have lots of costumes that we have purchased and then live here. And so our Downingtown company will borrow half their costumes and get half new costumes, and then we'll try to use that costume next year as well. And so these are kind of recirculating costumes. Our Westchester studio, our entire footprint of the basement is costumes, and those are all the Nutcracker costumes.
Fun.
Our Nutcracker, nobody pays for their costume. That is all owned by us. So their tuition for being in the Nutcracker includes the costume borrowing, the rental of that, and then the rehearsals that go along with that.
Okay.
The Nutcracker is really,
wonderful.
really important to us. It is a professional production. It's a little bit of a pro-am. We get to mix our worlds. We have some male cavaliers who do some really crazy tricks with the girls up in the air, and most of our cavaliers now are fathers, and their daughters are now going to be in the party scene. And it's we had this like new generation. Some people are third generation Harrison dancers, and it's just a really, really nice thing to look forward to. It's some familiarity. It kicks off the holiday season. You know, some people do a parade or they do a tailgate, and it's like everybody we know is part of the Nutcracker. So whether it's you're looking forward to sitting in the audience or being a part of it, it's a really big deal in our lives.
So are your programs exclusive for girls, or do you have anything you offer for boys?
So boys are absolutely included and encouraged. I know so much of our previous marketing and just like our aesthetic is pretty feminine, but we've always been really open to having boys. We have a lot of boys in our gymnastics, which is great and so much fun, and they are awesome. We love them so much.
Programs aren't just about the technical aspect of things as much as also just helping to develop young people.
In such a huge way, yes. So our tagline would be lessons that last a lifetime, and that was something that my grandmother kind of coined back in the 40s, and it's a really, really big deal to us. So in a class, you might be doing something down the floor, and we pause and we talk about the importance of writing a handwritten note to somebody because they're having a bad day, or carrying around an extra pair of mittens in your bag in the winter in case you come across somebody who looks like they might be chilly. Or
That's sweet.
It's just really important that you make good people. Not everybody's going to go on to be a professional dancer. We like to give you the resources to do that and provide you with all of that, but more than anything, you want to be a good human.
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way to get in touch would be to email info@harrisondancestudios.com.
Okay.
That is going to come directly to me.
Email or Facebook and Instagram, right?
Instagram, yes. Any of the socials are great.
Perfect.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today, Cait.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you and all about the Harrison Studios Dance and Gymnastics.
Thank you.
And from Colby and Kau'i, Downingtown Life, keep connecting our community.
Thank you.